I said good afternoon. Maybe this afternoon is important today for somebody. I meant to say grand rising. Grand rising to you all. Today, I'm going to give you guys an update on retrograde planets and what they mean, because we've got and forgive me, I'm reading them today because we have one, two, three, four, five, we have 6 planets that are in retrograde right now, some lasting until, well, actually we have 5, but Mercury retrograde begins on the 9th of November. So November and December are going to be hot in terms of retrograde planets. And at least one planet is going to be retrograde until February. So I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and give you guys an update on the retrograde planets and what they represent in terms of the lessons that we are supposed to be learning at this time and the chakras that they're associated with. And what caused me to look at them, I wanted to get some advice for the day oracle cards. And the first card that came up was confusion. Now the confusion card, it came up, it actually came up in reverse, but with my oracle cards, I don't usually look at them in reverse. So it would be wonderful if you don't have, you've been able to rid yourself of some sort of mental confusion and some chaos in your life. That's going to be fantabulous for you. However, just be aware, with all of these retrograde planets, you're going to be tested. You're going to be tested in many ways, and you're going to be faced usually with things that you thought you'd closed the door on, or you thought you'd healed from, all of these things. And it can be a challenge, but at the same time, it's great. It's a great basis for ensuring that you're moving in the right direction for your healing. And as a shaman and a healer, I mean, that's really important to me, which is why I'm doing this talk today. So the second card I pulled is vision. Okay, beautiful card. And then the third card is balance. So the fact that I pulled those 3 cards this morning, it made me decide that I should talk about the retrograde planets. I knew a bunch of them would be going on in November. We did end some this month, but still I didn't realize some others were beginning. So here we go. If I look to the side, it's because I have a screen there. I didn't want to try to remember everything, especially about Chiron, because Chiron is a planet I'm not as familiar with. It's one of the more newly discovered planets versus the others. So I just want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row for you and I give you guys the right information. So Saturn is still in retrograde, and it will be in retrograde until the end of November, November 28th. And I did actually, if you want to look at one of my past videos, I actually did one about the ones that were in retrograde a couple months ago. And Saturn, of course, was a part of it. Saturn, it's going to represent the test of, and you can think of these as life midterms, okay? Responsibility versus discipline. Irresponsibility, I guess I should say. So Saturn is going to show up in your life in areas where you haven't really been using self-discipline, where you haven't been owning up to your responsibilities. Saturn shows up to say, hey, it's time to grow up. And so, it is actually represented by the root chakra, which is the bottom, like right around just below your gut. If you get sciatica a lot, that's a root chakra issue. It's also a sacral chakra issue, but those 2 chakras, they are all about personal power. And of course, when you are not owning up and facing up to what you're doing, and you're not using self-discipline for your life and taking responsibility, you usually end up with some personal guilt, and you allow others to take your power from you, and so that's going to affect the sciatica issues that you might have. There are other reasons for that, but we're not going to go into that in this video. Okay, so the second one is going to be Uranus. Uranus is represented by the crown chakra, which is up here, right above the head. And it's the crown chakra. I mean, Uranus is, it usually has to do with high impact situations, highly stressful situations, something that, it doesn't have to be stressful, but it will be something that causes you to completely change your life around. And that could be anything. When I was a young girl and my mom introduced me to her personal astrologer, I think I was 18 when she had my chart done at that time. And the woman's name was Ann Ryan. She was in Cleveland Heights. She was a master in astrology. And one of the things she gave examples of people who had gone from one end of the spectrum in life to the other. Like maybe they were living wildly, and then all of a sudden they became a nun. Those kind of things. Things that cause people to go, to make major changes. It can also cause, along with radical change in ideas and behavior, epiphanies. So hopefully it's not, if you have something going on in your life that way in your chart, that's going to affect your chart, it won't be stressful. Maybe it'll just be some wonderful, beautiful epiphany that helps you turn your life for the better, bring you closer to yourself. And so the third planet is Neptune. Oh, I'm sorry. Uranus is going to be in retrograde until February 4th, 26. All right. And I don't know, Uranus, it's probably Uranus, but a lot of people say Uranus. Neptune is next. Neptune is going to be in retrograde until December 10th. And the test here is illusion or delulu versus awareness. Being conscious, being self-aware, being aware of what's happening around you, what you're choosing to experience. And it represents the third eye chakra. Now, Neptune is exciting because if you're doing a lot of meditation, it can actually take you into very spiritual heights, which can be very exciting. But you do want to make sure that you're staying grounded. So make sure to also spend time in nature. Make sure to meditate. Stay grounded while you do your exploring. And of course, it represents the third eye chakra, which is right here. And then, let's see, Chiron will be in retrograde until January 2nd. And Chiron, I'm really excited about Chiron now that I've learned a little bit more about it. It represents deep personal wounding. And so basically, it's going to force you to face these wounds, whatever it is. Usually it's from childhood. I like to suggest to people to, spend some time with your inner child. Think about what happened in your childhood that might be triggering you now. Those triggers are probably going to come up. And they call Chiron the rainbow bridge, which means it connects all the chakras together, which makes sense because if your chakras are out of alignment, it will make you vulnerable to illness. So if you can get to those deep wounds and face them, that's the first step towards your healing. You know, if you're not dealing with those deep wounds that are affecting your chakras and your electromagnetic field, it's a Band-Aid, and whatever the problem is, it's going to return. And so the next one is Jupiter. Well, Mercury retrograde is actually next. I'm sorry. Mercury retrograde begins on the 9th of November and it ends on the 29th of November. So we have a month of throat chakra drama. You know, speaking your truth. Speaking with honesty, but also clarity. So the test with Mercury retrograde is often communication, clear communication and unclear communication. But so when people are like, oh, it's Mercury retrograde, nothing's going to work. It often also means to take a step away from technology and move into your creative senses and also your intuition. And finally, Jupiter, which is supposed to be like, it's like the good luck charm of astrology. Usually is considered to bring people good luck in certain aspects. Jupiter will be in retrograde November 11th until March 11th, 2026. And it's all about holding your personal power, and it represents the solar plexus chakra. So the test is, are you going to hold your power and be true to yourself, or are you going to give your power away and let somebody else be, you know, and be somebody else, be somebody's whatever. I won't even go there with that, but you already know what I mean. Hold your power, be true to yourself, or put it on a silver platter and let someone else have fun with it. And that could be a very interesting lesson you don't want. So consider that. So that is my, let's see, it's about 20 minutes or 12 minutes. I need another cup of coffee. That is my short retrograde planets update. I hope it was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. I'm happy to respond and share more. And please like, please subscribe, and I will see you soon. Maybe a later tarot happy hour today. Take care.